Well, hello YouTube, and welcome to another video on my channel. I've got a chai latte going on, and I've got a bunch of my favorite art supplies in front of me, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you what I have used the most over this past year, what I've enjoyed the most, and like even processing that myself. And I hope that you do the same. I really want to hear about the supplies that you've used most this past year because it's going to inspire me and hopefully others to for ideas and of products to use in the next year. I am sure that many of you have many of the items on my list, and I'd like to hear about that as well. Like, what items do you have? What items are you curious about? What items have been on your wish list? What items do you hope to get for the holidays? Let's discuss. I think I will start with what's in front of me, which is gouache. I'm going to start with gouache. So this first up is a product by an artist called SUI, S-U-I, who makes her own brand and line of gouache. First up is gouache. Now, this gouache I have been using all year long. And when I first got it, I was not all that impressed with it. And this was actually one of my neglected art supplies of 2024. So I got this set of gouache about three years ago now, and this is by an artist. Her name is Sui, and it's called, she makes her own like line of gouache and gouache colors. It's like a unique palette, and it's beautiful. It's for the aestheticists, which I am not. My stuff is not aesthetically pleasing, and it's like, yeah, but hers is. And it comes with a set of 12, and they are small tubes. They're 7.5 milliliters each, but they are very pigmented and they are very nice. Now, like I said, when I first got them, there were a lot of things that I was not crazy about. And I'll tell you, like, the consistency is different. If you're used to using like gouache, like Holbein and stuff, Japanese brands of gouache and even some American brands, this consistency of this gouache is different. It's almost like there's a different binder. And when I first experienced it, I really didn't know what to make of it. Now that I have, and it became like a neglected art supply of 2024. And so I decided to revisit it and later in the year, and I, towards the end of the year, I created this travel palette out of it. And I became addicted to this gouache, and I have been using it so much since. So this palette also is another one of my favorites, but we'll get there in a second. So this gouache, it's so beautiful, y'all. As you can see here, this palette is one I've loved. This is a set of 12, and it's yeah, I'll link everything down below, but anyway, you can get this on Amazon, and you can also get it on her website. And when it's on sale on Amazon, truly it's about the same as on the website if you order enough for free shipping. I live in the States. I don't know what it is worldwide, but Sui does ship worldwide, and so that's really exciting. And recently they came out with a line of acrylic gouache, which looks absolutely beautiful in all these really pretty shades. So, you think like this is like a non-traditional color palette, and like I'm able to paint everything with it. What I really like about this set is that while the tubes are small, they go a long way. They're super pigmented, and Sui includes this color recipe card so that you don't have to experiment a whole lot or waste a whole lot with mixing, because this is a guide, and you really can mix all the colors. You really, really can. I keep this is my little travel palette of the gouache. And then I don't travel out of the, I work from home as well. So I use this palette. It's on my desk and I throw it in my purse when I go out. So I use this a lot, this palette. It's small, obviously. And I really like using the SUI gouache as dried gouache. Now you can use it wet. I like using it dried. It works so well as a dried palette. So let me show you some work. I'm not going to do like a whole like flip through and things like that, but I do want to give you just a couple examples. I did last night. I actually painted this. And so, you know, you can get these really like pretty aesthetically pleasing color palettes out of it. And you can also, this is my, like I told you, I throw this in my purse. This is my purse sketchbook. So I take this when I'm out, and I have painted like everything with this gouache. I even painted, I think pizza recently. Painted a piece of pizza recently. So like you can paint all sorts of like food and like color schemes out of this. So I really, it's a really cool palette, and it has become truly my favorite gouache for these reasons. Next category I'm going to talk about are palettes. I have a couple of favorite like palettes that I have discovered this year that I just really love. These are two of them. So these little plastic palettes, these have become my purse palettes and also my desk palettes. Like I really like them. Here I have some Daniel Smith watercolors, and this is my little plein air painting kit. I mean, this is truly what I use when I go out. I mean, clearly you see, and here's my little swatch card. But yeah, so this is, you know, and they, I believe, sell them in 12 or 24. And I have another one that's empty. And you can get these, you know who makes these? Fuumuui makes these. And I'll link them. There's a coupon code down below to their website, because I have a couple of other, spoiler alert, Fuumuui products that are favorited. And so on their website, they sell these, and I do have a coupon code for them. And I absolutely love them. They're really inexpensive, and they're really lightweight, and they're very durable and just so compact. And yeah, yeah. If I were out more, I would make more of these and use them more, but I'm really happy with these two palettes, my little watercolor palette and then my little gouache palette. I absolutely love, and they're so, yeah. Anyway, I could go on. Now, the other palettes that became my favorite are the Bowerbird palettes. So this company, Bowerbird, came out with really beautiful palettes, really nice ceramic palettes, and then also really beautiful tins, and tins with ceramic palettes in them. So here's one of them where I have some Daniel Smith quinacridones in here. And these are all quinacridones, and then I added some greens just to make it a complete palette. But this is a ceramic palette, y'all. Like, I'm going to show you. So yeah, these, I put my special paints in here. You know, the Daniel Smith paints, and you can see like it stays in there because there's like a little piece of foam, but it will come out. You can take it out. I'm not going to force it out because I don't want to. But yeah, it stays in there really securely and like surprisingly. And yeah, so it's ceramic and it's a pleasure to paint in. So there's lots of configurations, and they have several different patterns now. So this one, you see, I have for my Daniel Smith, like I said. Now I also got these for my other Daniel Smith, like my collection, and I have a video showing my whole collection. I'll link that as well down below if you're curious and into it. But yeah, so, and I got a second one because I knew I would expand. I had a little bit, you know, and I've expanded into this. And these palettes are absolutely beautiful. They came out, so I think they originally just had like this print, and then they came out with this print, and then they've come out with a couple others. And I did purchase this one. I haven't put anything in it yet, but when these first came out, they sold out for a while, y'all. I mean, and I think you could probably see why. And they're reasonably priced. I think they are fairly priced. And so when this one came out, I really loved it. So I knew, you know, I'd eventually get a set of watercolors that I would want to put in here. I haven't yet, but this is the new palette. And yeah, see, I got a different configuration. So this one has 24 slots, and whereas this one had, I believe, 18. Let's double check. Yeah. So 18 slots. And so you can see here, here's a one with a fresh, clean, aesthetically pleasing palette. But this one I think is probably going to be, yeah, there we go. So this one came out a little bit easier. So see, it comes with like this just piece of foam, and then it's got this beautiful ceramic palette, and on the back it's got some mixing area. So absolutely stunning. And like you know, it's a thick piece of porcelain. I mean, it's not, I'm sure it will break, but and honestly, like I've weighed this next to my like other palettes. I've got one here, and it's not that much heavier. Believe it or not, it doesn't add that much weight, because those like metal cagings, they're not, they don't weigh nothing. They do add a little bit. So yeah, I'd encourage you to like treat yourself to a pretty bowerbird palette if you like one. If you see a pattern that you like, they're really lovely, absolutely lovely, and just make me feel so nice when I take them out and paint. So yeah, I don't know what set I'm going to put in here. I have no inkling yet, but we will see. I will fill it with you. I won't leave you out of that process. I'll definitely do a video, and I will do this off video and save. So Daniel Smith's split primary mixing set is, I recommend it, and I think it is so good. It is so good. I've bought it twice, and then after the second time, I started buying full tubes when I needed replacements and expanding. And then towards the end of last year, I started expanding my Daniel Smith collection, and it just kind of blew up from there. So anyway, that video is down below, and I absolutely love Daniel Smith, and the split primary mixing palette is great for any artist or anyone who wants to introduce themselves to Daniel Smith. Now, along the lines of watercolors, specialty watercolors, I want to talk about next. So I do have some traditional watercolors that I will talk about after this, but first I want to talk about these specialty watercolors. So these neon watercolors are, I shit you none, probably my favorite watercolors of all time, like as far as specialty palette. You can see how much I love this. So these are Paul Rubens neon watercolors. They're fluorescent. They do not glow in the dark, but they glow under black light. I will insert some photos of artwork here. So how I like to use these are, so much. I like to mix these with white, which you see here, and in the artwork I just showed. And I like to mix these with my regular traditional watercolors, because they just give them an oomph, an extra oomph. And I absolutely love them. And I love them because they're so affordable. So, and they go so far. So when I tell you, like, I've had these for several years and I love them. I use them all the time. I journal a lot and I use them in my sketchbook all the time. You know, sometimes I'll use them in fine art for myself, but, you know, not for anything I'm going to sell, because fluorescent pigments are fugitive. They're not light fast, but they are fun and they glow under black light. And when you mix them with white or other paints, like, you get this really beautiful dimensional painting by day, and then under black light, it retains the dimension when you use a white watercolor. These paints are so much fun for me, and I highly recommend them. So they come in these little like 5 ml tubes, but I have topped off my my half pans so often, and look, I still have a lot of watercolor. But I'll tell you, like, I'm probably going to pick up a backup set because they're on sale right now for $17. And so I think I'm going to pick one up because they did go up in price for a little bit. I think on Amazon you can check and see like the price history. But when I bought these, I think they were like, I paid like $20 less a $10 or 10% coupon. So I think I paid about $18. And then I saw them go up in price and they were like $30 for this set, which I have to tell you, I think they'd be worth it at $30 for the set. They're that much fun. And but now, you know, then they came down in price and they're generally around $20. So I don't know. If you have an extra $20 to mess around with, these are so much fun. And also, let me tell you what else I love about them. So they re-wet like a dream. These re-wet like a dream. And I can't say that about all or most fluorescent watercolors, truthfully. These have a beautiful, I have bought some like handmade watercolors off of Etsy, and they just don't re-wet. All of these re-wet like a dream, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, even though I kind of want to, because I just love them so much. I mean, truly, these are my faves. So highly recommend. I will stop talking about these for now, but yeah, love these watercolors, love this set. And they are not available open stock. So, but like I said, I've had these for years. I mean, and I use them all the time. A little goes a long way. And yeah. If you let me know if you have this set and what your experience has been and how you use them. If you use them differently than I do, I would love to know, because I truly love these. So along the lines of specialty watercolors, I had to put these on because clearly they're an all-time favorite. They're so good. These are the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Starry colors. I have purchased a lot of different metallics, y'all, and I have not found any gold metallics better than this set. I love it, and I've used it. A little goes a long way. I use it a lot in my work. I love shimmers in my work because I really even use this in fine art. I do. I like putting some gold sparkle to things, and this number 903 is like the best gold I have ever used. I mean, it's just such a beautiful watercolor. And then I like this one too. It's like a more antique-y, like a bronze gold. I don't know. I love it. And look at the silver. I've gone through the silver. Now this is the best silver that I have found until I met these, y'all. And I found these at the end of last year, and I have used them all year long. I love these. They're so affordable. This brand, I don't know. I've never heard of them before this global brand. They have 2 other sets available that I've been able to find on Amazon. And they have like a gold set and then like a rainbow set. these are really cool. Now, I'll tell you something. This is the shiniest watercolor I have ever met in my entire life. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's truly like chrome watercolor, and it's watercolor, and they re-wet so well. It's outrageous. It's outrageous, and it's like really worth to me anyway, the price of the set. Now, I will confess that this is one that I have a backup for in my drawer, because this set sold out. And when it did, I was like, oh my God, what if I can't ever get this watercolor again? And so when it came back in stock, I bought a backup. You know, this is one of the ones where I bought a backup for. So here's my little giant swatch sheet from earlier. I mean, that's watercolor. Are beautiful, and they're really fun to paint, like a soda can or like an espresso thing, you know, percolator. And what I really like about this set is because the silvers in this set, if you notice, there are some warm and cool grays or silvers, if you will. And then there's like this charcoaly gray, and I just love it. Now, the most sparkly one is this one here over on the right, to dye, this light silver, they're calling it. But they have, you know, dark silver, warm silver, pewter silver, pure silver. I mean, so yeah, I think that this is the best silver set that I have seen, hands down. And it's like $12 for this set, $12 or $13. And the pans are also, I want to just say that before, just to compare, the pans are huge. And that was something that, and you know what's weird too, is when I first got the set, they looked like eyeshadows to me anyway, and I didn't know how they'd re-wet, but they re-wet just like watercolors. I mean, see that? So it looks like, I don't know, to me, like an eyeshadow pan, but it re-wets just like watercolors. And here's the pan size. So if you're familiar with the Gonzai paints and their pans, these are more square shaped. They're still rectangle, I think, a little, but they're more square shaped, and they're about as deep, maybe a little bit deeper. And they're filled all the way to the top. I mean, that's a lot of paint. I mean, and it's not, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit, there's a little bit deeper of a crevice there, but I'd say probably the length of this, because if you just eliminated that lip part, that's a lot of paint to be filled that high. And, you know, Kuretake doesn't do their paints like that. Like, it's got a, you know what I mean? It's dried down in the pan. I mean, I'm not dogging on them. They're awesome. But I'm just saying, like, you got a lot of paint here. And so, yeah, highly recommend. Let me know down below if you've tried. Actually talk about a brand next, and the watercolors they make too, because they make brushes. Spoiler alert. Second spoiler alert. So these Fuumuui, and I want to disclose that I am now working with Fuumuui. They actually saw a video on my channel, and they offered to send me some brushes, and I actually already owned a couple of sets of their brushes, and they were my favorites then, and they still are. And I know I've got paint in front of me, but I just want to show you my OG Fuumuui brushes. They are right here, and because I use them all the time. And so these, and they're a set of travel brushes. I mean, like they're, you know, they have like, this was, oh my God, I don't even know how many years I've had this set. This was my OG set. And I've got travel brushes in my purse by them that I've purchased. And then they reached out to me to see if I wanted to try some brushes, and we'll get there. But they also recently have come out with paints. They've come out with watercolors, these opaque watercolors that are absolutely beautiful and dreamy to work with. So I saw this on my Instagram and I just was like, oh my God, is there any way? And they were so cool. They sent me a set with, and some, they sent me a set for my birthday. And so they're beautiful. I have had so much fun painting with these, and it looks like, I don't know. I mean, like, yes, you can see there's some paint splatter but I have painted so much with these, and I still like it, like self levels and maintains its beauty, and I haven't hit pan yet. I mean, they're super pigmented. So they have like this pastel kind of muted set, but I have been able to create like the most beautiful, oh, did you see the swatch? The most beautiful like atmospheric landscapes with this set. And like I live in Oregon, and so we have like a very kind of foggy atmosphere a lot of the times, and this just captures the vibe totally. And then they came out with other sets. So they came out with like a bright set, which sold out like right away on their website. I don't have that one. They came out with this set, which I don't have, I don't know the name of, because like I said, I'm really fortunate the brand sent me these because I asked. They're so nice. But when I saw these, I was like, oh my gosh. And they are just coming out with them. I haven't even done a review on my channel yet. I haven't had them in my possession that long. Like, I want to show you. Oh, I don't have the box in front of me. I do. So I want to show you, like, if you look at the production date, October 10th, like 6 weeks ago, and they sent these to me like literally hot off the press. I was really, really fortunate. But these are now available on their website, and they're beautiful. And I will have a full review of this coming up on my channel shortly. So subscribe if you have. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell because these will be coming up along with some really cool new brushes that they sent me. I'm working with them now and, you know, filming that and all that. So it'll be out soon though. And, you know, if you are not familiar with Fuumuui, they are a brush company. They make some really outstanding brushes and really unique brushes. So I first got to know them because I bought a set of their travel brushes, and then I bought more of their travel brushes. And then they actually ended up sending me, they reached out on my channel. They saw a video about Paul Rubens actually. And they said, would you like to try these? And I was like, yes, please. And these they came out with are so cool. These are like these needle nose brushes, and you can do the neatest artwork with these. The belly of the brush holds a lot of paint or water, and then the extended bristles create like the longest lines, like never ending lines. Like these are great, especially for metallic watercolors and doing like lines or writing. Absolutely the coolest. And then they also make some really interesting marks on their own. They come in a set of 4, in 4 different sizes, and they're so much fun. I use them all the time. You can see they are, you know, well used and loved, and they totally maintain their shape and their point. And I have to tell you, like, I've had these a very long time, and out of all my brushes, these are the only set that have maintained their shape for this long. I mean, truly, I mean, so many of my brushes, there's only a few that I've had for years. And even those show like wear and tear on them, you know, because I use mostly synthetic bristle brushes, and they get frayed, you know, and I'm hard on them and whatnot. But these, for some reason, have just like maintained their point this entire time. I can get such a fine point, and I love them. I love them so much that they're on my desk, and you really can't go wrong with a Fuumuui brush. And also, I think with the opaque watercolor set, they sent me the first set. They were so generous for my birthday, and they sent me this set too of their dual-ended travel brushes, which are so cool because it's not just round brushes. There's a cat's tongue, a flat brush, and I've been keeping these on my desk just because they're so nice. This detail brush is like amazing. Sorry, I have the caps wrong on them because I use them all the time though. Here's the detail. So this is the detail brush. They have a cat's tongue brush. There's a dagger and a flat brush, and then a larger round brush. I mean, just so cool. So cool. Actually, two larger round brushes. So, I mean, it's a very nice set. It comes in a pouch. They have a lot of different configurations, and they're coming out with more. And I absolutely love them. And I recommend shopping from their website. I do have a coupon code down below for like 10%. I think it's good for the entire website. And they ship everywhere. And I think it's free shipping is pretty easy to achieve. And they might have free shipping on their whole site. I'm not sure. But check them out. They're definitely a favorite and a very trustworthy brand. I trust them. And I know a lot of other artists do too. And they've been around for a while. All right, so I've got a couple more paint items that I'd like to talk about. This is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleedproof White. Is an all-time favorite of mine. This is the best white to cover things up. Like, you know, I know a lot of paints will say titanium white, and it's like supposed to be a PW6, and you will hopefully be able to like put it on top of anything and, you know, cover it. Nothing does it like Bleedproof White. And I think that's why it's called Bleedproof White. So I have had, and one jar will last you forever unless you use this like as a primary thing in your work. But even then, I have had this, I don't even know how long, y'all. This is the only jar that I have ever bought of Bleedproof White, and it's down there at the bottom. I mean, you know what I mean? It's maybe like I've got maybe a quarter left. But it's fine. And so I'll tell you what I do is, in order to keep it from drying out, you can see there's like a little bit of liquid there at the bottom. What I do, this is distilled water with a drop of clove oil in it. And what I'll do is I keep a little bit of water there in the top of it. It never has gone moldy on me, and I use it. I use it often. But it's never gotten dry and it's never gotten moldy. When you leave just a little bit of water in the top there, you can either get to like the really like thick paint, or what will happen is you will get kind of a really nice thinned out consistency that you can just kind of dip into. Without having to like dig into your jar. And that's something that I think has really stretched the life of my Bleedproof. I mean, like, you can reconstitute it with water. It's not an acrylic. It is water soluble. So if it does dry out, don't throw it away. This is very easy to re-wet. But to keep it like that paint-like consistency for as many years as I've had this, that's how I've done it. And it's absolutely great. It's great for corrections. In fact, I will make a correction right now. So I recently got a painted Frida and got Frida framed. When I was at Michael's to get this framed, I saw, oh, I should have done that before I brought it in. But I was there, so I was like, whatever. I had it framed as is. And then when I got it home, y'all, they framed it upside down. Long story. So anyway, here we are, and I'm able to fix it. It came out of its frame, and I'm able to kind of fix this, and I thought that I would. My Fuumuui flat brush here. And because I just put water in here, I'm going to just wet the brush with a little bit of water that I have from the spray on my desk there, because I don't want this saturated. I don't want to reactivate the whole painting. But I am going to go in here and tilt it down and get some of this thicker paint, right? But that's still pretty wet. You see that? Right off the top there. I'm going to just carefully, with my flat brush, cover where my paint bled through my tape. And I'm almost just kind of bouncing on it very carefully because I just don't want to. And then I'm going to do it on this side as well. So you see, this is how I can just work within it. Now, obviously, if I was working with like a color, I would take some of this out, use a palette knife, and you can mix this with your other watercolor. You can mix this with your fluorescent watercolors. And you can make like a gouache. And like I said, it does re-wet. I just feel like there's a little too much paint there for me. All right. And this is great because, you know, I can do this while it is in the mat. And I will probably only have to give this one coat. And that's why Bleedproof White is just so amazing to have on hand, to cover up any mistakes like this that you have in like a completed piece of artwork. So I so often will use it to make corrections like that, to put highlights. Oh, look here in my fine art, I used the Kuretake and in Frida. So yeah, I love Bleedproof White. This is definitely an all-time favorite. I wouldn't want to live as an artist without it. Definitely something every artist should have, and it's like $10 a jar. I mean, like, it's not a lot, and it's great to have. The other great thing to have is this this paint tool by Golden, and I swear by this, y'all. I mean, I don't know. Please let me know if you've got one too, because this, let me tell you, this has saved a ton of money for me. So what this is it is a tool that has, it's like a paint cap gripper, so that you can grab different tubes of paint and you can open them easily that are stuck. But the other thing, way I use it most often, is to close paints when I'm done with them and to give them an extra turn, because I've got this tool to open it. This has prevented so many tubes of paint from drying out on me. And it works on watercolor tubes, it works on acrylic, it works on oil, it works on these. So I have had this for years. It's flexible. It's a flexible piece of plastic, and it has different sizes for different gauges of paint tubes. I mean, it's really thought out. It's a well thought out tool. It's got places here you could hang it. I keep it on the side of I've got a pencil thing on my desk that it's just always right here, because every time I open a tube of paint, I grab this to open it, and then I use it to close it. So for instance, the SUI Gouache, that has lasted me forever. Like, this has not dried out. I have gouache that has lasted for years and years and years because because what I do is I close it so that it doesn't open easily, right? And it maintains its moisture in the tube. And then I have a tool where I can open it easily. And my paint is nice, and I'm not going to waste that, nice and wet. And now when I close it, I'm going to give it that extra turn just for good measure to make sure that it's nice and closed and airtight. And so I swear by this tool, as far as, like, you know, these are investments. I invest in my art supplies. I collect them, but I use them, and I want to use them for a very long time. I have a lot of paint, probably more than I will ever use, but I do use it. And I, you know, don't want to, it would break my heart to go back to paint that I haven't used in 6 months or a year or 6 years or whatever the case may be, and it's dried out. So this, it's such a great tool to have. Highly recommend. So these, yeah, these are great. And all-time favorites for sure. All right, I'm going to put this aside, but before I, you know, I sign my name with a pen, and then these are the next category I'm going to talk about are pens. I sign my name with this. I sign my artwork with this Uniball Signo gold pen. I love this. I buy them in bulk. That's just my thing. It's but it's also a really beautiful gold pen. White gel pen. This is, you know, a lot of people swear by these. I don't use the white gel pen all that much, but I use the gold gel pen all the time to sign my name on artwork. So I really like this, and I've been using it for years. I buy them in bulk. They, you know, they do last, but it's a pen. It runs out, you know. And then pens, these, I really love these. I love the Derwent line makers, mostly because of their graphite color. These are just fine liners, and they're waterproof. But I like the color graphite is really my favorite to sketch in. And like all fine liners, they come in different size nibs. But this is the color graphite, and it looks like pencil, and they're waterproof, and I like to sketch with them. I really like the way that it looks. I like that it kind of can be covered up, or it can like maintain that sketchy look. So I really like it for urban sketching. And I have a few different nib sizes, and then I have a few different colors. They come in graphite, and then they come in this sepia. So I have a couple of these sepia fine liners, which I don't use as often just because I tend to sketch with the graphite ones, but I love them. They're like a warm gray. I just love them. And they also do make a black fine liner as well, which, you know, I mean, it's a fine liner, but they're really nice. And I feel like the nibs are a lot more durable than the Prisma Micron pens. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. I'm not a fan. I know a lot of people swear by them, but I'm not a fan. I really like the Derwent line makers. I feel like their nibs are a lot more durable and reliable, and I feel like their ink lasts a lot longer. But you know, I'm not a huge, like a heavy drawer, you know what I mean? Like I will sometimes sketch, I will sometimes add ink to my watercolors, but I'm mostly a painter. And but when I do need a pen, I like these. I really got into markers more than I thought I would this year, and I guess these count as markers. These are real brush pens. These Zig Clean colors, I love them. I have 3 of these. And they have a little bit larger set, and I really would like the larger set, but I can't really justify it because these 3 are doing their job and they're still really juicy. So I'm not like, you know what I mean? But when I run out, I will probably replace, that'll probably be my justification to get the set. And it's not expensive. Like the larger set's like $15, but nonetheless, I really like these. Now, I believe these come in a wide range of colors. Like I believe they have like a whole rainbow of colors, but I really, you know, these grayscale ones are just amazing. And I imagine the colors are as amazing. But I have 3 tones. I have a light, a medium, and a dark tone. And I love these for shading quickly. So here's the light one. But you can even like do a couple layers on the light, a couple layers on the medium, and a couple layers on the dark, and get like different degrees of shadow. I featured these in like the Getting Ready for Me Inktober, and I use these a lot. Oops, sorry y'all. Sorry. I use them a lot. But see, you can even see there, like, You can get lots of different tones with these, just these three, and they're super juicy. So I really can't justify getting a larger set of these, but they do sell them in a pack of these. And I mean, I imagine that like the other brush pens are just spectacular too, and juicy and delicious, just like these. So have you tried these Zig Clean Color Real Brush Pens? Let me know down below. And do you have other favorites? I would like to know, what art supplies have you been using this year? And what art supplies do you want to use next year? Have you been using some of these? Are some of these on your list? I think I'm gonna call it here. I mean, I don't know how long I've been sitting here yapping about art supplies, but it feels like it's been for a long time. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this video. It was a fun one for me to share, and I can't wait to hear about what all you are using. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell before you go. And until next time, everybody, take good care. Bye.